So these are my numbers from June 2024 up to April 2025. I'm recording this video in May 2025, and as you can see, in the year 2024 the sales were at around 200,000 on average per month, with exception of a few months like September, which September was because I was bracing for December. Definitely I did not have enough stock, which is okay. That has happened. When I don't have enough stock, it's fine. But now, as you can see, in October, November, this was fairly okay. And then in December, it pays off, because in December, it's almost about 700,000. But now when we come to 2025, January was fairly okay. February started dropping massively. You see, from 200k to almost 100k, just like that. 50% drop, just like that. And mind you, there's stock. And then come March, I did not have a lot of stock though, to be honest, but the sales were still down. But in April, that is when I noticed it's not as usual, because in April, even with having bought enough stock, we were still not able to hit our target, which is on average 200k, and it has gone to like half, even actually less than half, because this is about 83,000 for the month of April. And I'm not the only one talking about this. Clearly, so many sellers have experienced this, and I'm in sellers community. Like, there's one seller who was selling 3 million per month, and they are now selling 800,000. That is a massive drop of more than 60% of sales. And it's actually real with many people. And with this, it brought me the question of, why are sales dropping so much on Takealot? In this video, I'm going to share with you what I think are the reasons why the sales are going down, and what we can do to protect ourselves as sellers. Whether you're thinking of starting off on Takealot, I want you to know, first of all, that it's not all rosy. At times it gets this bad. And if you're already a seller on Takealot, what has been your experience? Have your sales dropped? Are you still making the good money you were making last year, or have you noticed any change? And some of us are saying it's algorithm. When we search for products, you can't easily find them, or things like that. Like, there's a lot of theories as to what is happening. What is happening with your sales? Have you experienced this? Anyway, let me share with you why I think there have been some changes in the year 2025 when it comes to sales on Takealot. First of all, there have been increased competition from global giants. That is your Amazon, your Shein, your Temu. But of course, they were there even last year. Yeah. And by the way, when it comes to Amazon, if you're a seller on Takealot and Amazon, you can clearly know that 90% of your sales are from Takealot and not Amazon. Amazon did not do like a hard launch. It has been very soft, and we are expecting that this year it's gonna be maybe harder than it was. But the truth is, they have not been able to draw a lot of attention as we expected when they were launching, and therefore I don't think a lot of traffic has gone to Amazon. However, when it comes to Shein, they also launched last year. When it comes to Shein and Temu, not last year. For Shein, it's not last year, but Temu, yeah, for Temu last year, when they launched, we realized that there was a lot of changes with customer purchases. And actually, Temu happened to be the most downloaded app in South Africa, and a lot of customers started purchasing directly from Temu. However, this is not the point. With the US tariff that have just happened, let me explain what just happened and why I think this is big when it comes to the effect that it has on us as Takealot sellers. There have been a lot of changes with the US and the trade issues that have been happening globally, and the US is removing the 800 de minimis exemption for goods that are coming from China to the US. Therefore, companies like Shein and Temu are now flooding into other markets like Asia, Africa, and South Africa happens to be one of them. South Africa is quite attractive This is because it has a very fast moving consumer online base, very fast. And there are few regulations around the border when it comes to e-commerce with South Africa compared to the US and EU, where Temu and Shein maybe may opt to look at. South Africa is quite good or quite fair, and also the entry cost is quite low compared to other countries. And the other point is that South Africa is a member of BRICS, and what this means is they're going to have very fair trade agreement with China. So it's gonna be easy for Chinese manufacturers and suppliers to join the South African market. I have a course on how to sell on Takealot, and one of the students is actually from China. Therefore, Chinese manufacturers and suppliers are looking at Takealot as a very lucrative market, and not Takealot in this case. South Africa is good for e-commerce and especially for Chinese market. Therefore, we're gonna see a lot of traffic and attention being drawn to South Africa, and maybe not just now. We are gonna expect to see a lot of marketing coming in from Temu and Shein and Chinese suppliers coming into South Africa. And what that does, or what that means to Takealot sellers, especially if you're selling the generic products or products that can be easily sourced from China, is that your sales are gonna go down. That basically, I would say, is one of the main reasons why Takealot sales have gone down. However, there could be other issues that are affecting your sales at a personal level. Maybe your listing is not okay, your products are generic, you're selling products that every other person is able to access, or whichever reason. But the truth is, a lot of sales have gone down. Now, let's talk about the solution. What can we do? And my rule number one: be on promotion all the time. Whether it is daily deals, whether it's Takealot Tuesday, Takealot Monday, whichever the deal, just ensure that at every single day your products are running on promotion. Unlike advertisement, personally, I have experienced a lot of sales when my products are on promotion. Ensure that this calendar, it's always blue. You must ensure that one of them is blue. What can you do to ensure that your products are always on promotion? Like, for example, right now, the promotion that is going on is Mother's Day gifting for my products. And what I will do is, when I'm applying for Mother's Day gifting, I also applied for daily deals, clearance deal. Like, I also applied for all other promotions that are accepted for my specific products. If you're in various categories, ensure that for each and every category that you're in, you're running promotions for your product. So I will be applying for many promotions at a go. So let's say every Monday is a day for applying for promotions. So what this will do is that at any week that has been opened, your promotions will already be in time. Don't allow to be closed up for any promotion. You're going to have very consistent sales. The other thing is advertising. This is now not just promotion. This is where now you use money. In this case, through Takealot, you advertise. Maybe you can say that every week I'm going to be spending 500 rands on advertising. Personally, I have seen returns on advertising. However, when I compare advertising and promotion has given me more return, of course, because it is free, but not really because it's free, because it honestly does give more sales as far as I'm concerned. But advertising is good, especially for that product that cannot be seen anywhere in the listing, like that one that is very down the listing. Please have it on advertisement. And when it's on advertisement, what will happen is, after some time, it will start showing in people's feed, and then you will be able to see that people have put it in their wish list. And if it is in their wish list, then maybe you can lower the prices, and then they will be notified you have lowered the prices, and that will increase your sales. Even if you stop advertising that product, the fact that it is already in people's wish list it's gonna give you an advantage. And also the fact that maybe when people look for it, you're gonna start being on fast pages. And then the other thing that I think we need to do is to diversify. Yeah, it goes without saying. We cannot sell on Takealot only. Be on Amazon, be on Shopify if you can, that's your own website, be on Bobby Shop, be on Macro, be everywhere, diversify. As it is right now, you cannot depend on Takealot. And in addition to this, I honestly would recommend you not to quit your job if you are currently having a 9 to 5. Just don't quit your job yet until it is very stable. And one thing that is unfortunate is that it can make you 3 million this month, and within a span of 6 months, that 3 million has dropped to 800,000. That's crazy in terms of drops. And my recommendation, which is my number one, I've shared with you too, my number one recommendation of what I would highly recommend is having your own website. I know it sounds so far-fetched, and it also sounds like it's a lot of effort, but the truth is, this is the only way to escape the matrix. This is the only way to take control of your business. Through this, Takealot customers are not our customers. They will never be our customers, and that is why we don't have access to them. Unlike when you have your own website where you will have access to your customer base. Right now, in as much as we may sell millions on Takealot, the truth is we will never ever have access to those customers. They belong to Takealot, and the only way out of this is to have your own website. It may be very daunting at first because you have to spend a lot of money on marketing, on maybe building the website, maybe a Shopify store. It may be a lot of money, but I do believe that this is the right path for anyone who is hoping to have e-commerce as a full-time or e-commerce as a real business. I think if this thought was not in your mind, have it now and start feeding it with the right information. And even if you're not going to have your own website now, let this be an idea that will grow and bear fruit sometime in your business, in your e-commerce growth. The other solution is do not sell what everyone else is selling. Have your own unique proposition such that when everyone else is crying and saying there are no sales on Takealot, you are actually a different person, because for you, you're experiencing the sale or you have an advantage of a unique product. Uniqueness comes with solution. If your product is solving a specific problem, then you have a very unique proposition. Please place yourself in such position. And finally, if you feel all this is not, maybe you feel like you don't want to tie a lot of money and you're not seeing the fruit, I don't know whether this is a very good idea, but I have personally advised someone to do this who was not doing so well in terms of sales and they were struggling with cash flows. I asked them to wait for the season. What waiting for the season means is, you see, like I showed you my numbers in December, your sales triples. Yeah, they can go to crazy numbers. And if maybe you feel like you cannot be able to sustain yourself from January until December because of what is happening, you can opt to start your sales in September. What will happen is, or maybe August, yeah, maybe you can give yourself Q4. Q4 is my time to sell, and then after Q4, I stop selling and then wait for the next Q4, which is still okay. So what will happen is between September, October, and November, you'll be building the momentum for December, and then December you ensure that you have enough stock to sell, and it is very possible. It is very possible for you to make about even 500,000, maybe 500 rands in December, and then that's if you feel that is okay, instead of straining from the beginning of the year up to September with a lot of stress. If Takealot maybe is not your only source of income and you are hoping that December can be the time, or rather the peak season can be the time, then I would recommend waiting for the season. But however, However, there's a lot of disadvantages with this because, for example, there's a lot of learning that we do during the whole year. You learn there's a lot of changes that have happened, all these things. As we are doing it over and over again, it becomes easier. But if you choose to just wait until September and start selling, you're likely to encounter a lot of operational issues, which if you're able to deal with, it's fine. And then for me, I think the main disadvantage of this method or this waiting for the season is that you can be denied replenishment of your stock. Because remember, Takealot lets you like build sales history for them to allow you to take your products to the warehouse. And what I have learned is that products that are in stock sells so well more than those that are in lead time. And so Takealot might deny you that replenishment privilege, which might cost you even in December when you want to sell a lot of products. So you need to consider that. These are the solutions that I am currently using and I would recommend. However, just pick that which you think is best suitable for your business. If you found this video to be helpful, please share with other people. And thank you so much for watching. I hope your business does well. Let me hear how is your business doing. Are you doing okay?